Hello, my friends. So this is in response to someone who I've been having an exchange with on YouTube, and this particular individual holds beliefs that are contrary to mine. He is an atheist, skeptic. He basically does not see any benefit in holding the beliefs that I hold, and we have gone back and forth. He questions why I believe what I believe, and I tell him the best answer that I can, and that is that, well, I believe what I believe because I can, because I want to. If you want to hold a belief, that is your business. If you want to hold no belief, that is your business. I really don't care if someone holds a belief that is contrary to mine, unless it then interferes with my own beliefs, and that is the primary reason for my channel. And those of you who have been with me for a long time understand this. So let's get on with this. So first of all, what I want to explain about this particular person is that I have, in my own opinion, a respectful relationship with him. I do not believe that he has malicious intent towards me. I feel that our exchanges have been, if anything, beneficial because it has made me think and to question my beliefs and to expand my understanding and knowledge and experience. So it has been beneficial for me. I have had exchanges with other people where I just wrote it off because they were no longer attacking my argument, they were just attacking me. And the minute somebody starts to attack me rather than my argument, I have no more patience for them, and I just pretty much write them off, and I don't talk to them ever again. And that has been my experience to this point. I don't care if somebody disagrees with me. I actually welcome if someone does disagree with me, because it's one of the ways that I grow as an individual is by questioning everything. There is nothing that I do not question. There is nothing that is off limits, and I always try to keep an open mind. So, with that said, I want to understand that I am not doing this to try to call him out or expose him or anything like that. I am just simply giving this several points of these exchanges that we had over a couple of day period based on a particular video that he had done and I had commented on. And this was that beliefs, or excuse me, holding unverified beliefs or unjustified beliefs causes harm. And I do not completely agree with that. I agree that anything can cause harm, but I do not exactly agree with his whole argument, and I'll get to that later. But one of the first things that I want to educate people on is understanding what my particular belief of the Wicca religion is. I practice what is known as the Gardnerian tradition of Wicca, which I claim formed in 1939 when Gerald Gardner claims that he was initiated into the New Forest Coven. I worship a god and a goddess. I also try to reconstruct ancient pagan practices. I celebrate 4 fire festivals which fall on November 1st, February 1st, May 1st, and August 1st. Later, in this particular tradition that I practice, they also included the 2 equinoxes and the solstices, which the equinoxes tend to fall around March 21st and September 21st. The solstices fall on roughly around December 21st and June 21st. We also typically meet on the full moon. So at home and on my own, My practice is primarily lighting candles and incense in honor of ancient deities, followed by a magical working and/or meditation. That's pretty much it. In Wicca, the practice that I follow, I don't have any dietary restrictions. I have no specific requirements or dogma. So if I want to go and see a faith healer, Wicca has nothing to do with that. If I want to go to a professional and registered physician, there's no dogma, there's no restriction on that. If I want to drive my car, there's no restriction to that. There are no restrictions or dogma specifically in Wicca that says that you cannot or can do one thing or the other. So, in this exchange, he asked several questions which I will elaborate on here. His first question: we have no way of knowing whether or not unjustified beliefs will cause harm, so they should be discarded as false and unjustified. I don't agree with that. You see, his argument is biased towards his viewpoint. I would prefer to continue to have my beliefs, question them, and adjust them accordingly. His next comment: don't you understand by holding beliefs openly like that, you are saying it's okay to hold beliefs that are unjustified? No, I do not understand that. I hold beliefs that are my beliefs, that many people, including yourself, do not accept, and to be honest, I could care less. I really do not care. Based upon my experience, there are more pagans and witches in the YouTube community I am a part of that actually focus on the differences and are more than willing to point this out at any time. Number 3, if you believe in something and practice it, that means you support it and you do those things openly. No, I do not support it. If I support Wicca by practicing it, then I also support breathing, walking, eating, wearing clothes, enjoying music, laughing, and I support people questioning everything and finding their own path, whether this be toward belief or non-belief. Number 4, that you do support unjustified beliefs. Shit, you hold them. That's worse. I'm looking at your Google page now. Clearly, there are examples of you supporting yours and others' beliefs in the supernatural. I mean, really, man, who are you trying to convince here, me or you? By supporting my beliefs in which your opinion are unjustified. In my opinion, they are justified. How could this possibly be worse? I do not know specifically what you are referring to, but anything I write, I generally believe. I have nothing to gain from misleading the people I leave comments for. Number 5, do you know this to be true? Do you have a way to test this? What method are you using to determine such a thing? Remember, your personal bias observation is not a good barometer if you have no way of testing if it's actually true. I'm not going to challenge every single thought and action I perform to the scrutiny of some arbitrary test. This would be a pointless waste of time. I have no personal bias. I do, however, have judgment. Should my beliefs interfere in anything that causes me to question them and go against my better judgment, then I will indeed need to question them. For the time being, my sense of reality and judgment is my barometer. Should new information be introduced, I will change my judgment accordingly. Number 10. Just like the Muslim woman's observations that her religion is harmless for her, you are doing the same with your beliefs, and you have no way of knowing if you're not. You may think no harm has come to you or anyone else, but you don't have a way of testing if that is true, do you? Nothing beyond your own observation, but that doesn't count for shit, because you can't test if your observation is even accurate or true. This is based off of your own observations, and that doesn't count for shit. That doesn't sound very nice, does it? The only thing I can do is use my judgment to ascertain whether something is harmful or not, just as you would do. Your judgment on the ability to trust your own observation is just as valid as mine. Let me repeat that. Your judgment on the ability to trust your own observation is just as valid as mine. Number 11. Harm doesn't just come in physical form. When we accept things that are unfalsifiable, we are more likely to accept other things that are not falsifiable as well. Once you accept one unjustified belief as true, you are more inclined to accept others. I don't agree with this. I think if one is willing to forego better judgment in favor of belief, this indeed can lead to potential harm. But the amount of harm is equivalent to the amount of good judgment one would have to forego. For example, believing one can fly takes foregoing much more better judgment than, say, believing in Bigfoot. Number 12. It's common knowledge that people that hold one unjustified belief are more likely to hold other beliefs that are unjustified. You can find that on your own. Actually, no, it does not. I asked you for proof of this claim, and you told me to look for it myself, even though it was your claim and your burden of proof. I found nothing in support of this claim. If you have information to the contrary, you can link it below. Until then, I reject this claim as unverified. Number 13. What I'm hearing from you is that you don't see evidence that your beliefs have or possibly will cause harm. So you are just going to wait until you see evidence to support that, and then you will possibly revise that position. Well, if you like playing in traffic, that's your prerogative. Don't mind me, I'll be on the sidewalk telling you that's not a good idea. Let me give you a moment to think about this thought. Do you see the logical fallacy? Beliefs and harm are not black and white. Simply because one holds beliefs does not mean there are no other factors involved. What you should be hearing from me is that beliefs are just as harmful as anything else one uses bad judgment with. An atheist can speed at 100 miles per hour down the highway, believing they are a good driver, just the same as a Christian can believe God will protect them. They are both equally bad in judgment. Belief is balanced by judgment. Making bad or good judgment calls is independent from belief. So, the main argument throughout this whole exchange is that he claims unjustifiable beliefs can cause harm, and so it is best to discard them. Unfortunately, this is not the case. In reality, holding religious beliefs is helpful and beneficial for some people. Here are 3 separate studies, and links will be below. Here is one study done by the American Psychology Association from January 2003. In the study, it was found people using religious coping helped spouses deal with depression. The study does indeed take into account that some can develop an over-dependence on religious coping and neglect other sources. From Science Daily, there is a study reported in January of 2013 where the study concluded that employees who are religiously active reported less stress, depression, and anxiety. Here's another study which looked at the role of spirituality in healthcare. Another part of my practice is meditation, which is a strong part of my particular practice, and it is also known to be beneficial. So actually, holding beliefs coupled with good judgment can be beneficial for some. This does not mean that those who do not hold any beliefs are somehow lesser. So, I look forward to hearing your thoughts on this in the comments below. This has been Logan. Thank you, and blessed be.